views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to Energy Works Radio with Ataana Badili. Have you ever wondered what has been gripping your power and light, shutting you off from your potential? Wonder no more. Energy Works Radio with one of the world's leading healers and transformation catalysts, Ataana, will help you map out a pathway to create the life you truly desire. Ataana brings his ability to see energy patterns to help you become the conductor of your own higher self. Get ready to unhook from those limiting agreements and patterns to create a greater fullness of expression of your soul. Say yes to the creative energy within you and stand in the power of this place to honor your gifts, recognize your skills, and extend outward in the world. Why? For the highest good imaginable. Now here's your amazing host, Ataana Badili. Wow. Hey, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat, and I am joined here by the amazing Ataana. Today is a day that we come together, he and I do, and we do a show that is so profoundly transformative for those of you out there, Energy Works Radio. I want to make sure all of you know that throughout the show today, we are taking your messages as well as your call-ins if you would like to connect with us, because today's show is about activation, activating self-healing in so many ways. But why and how can we do it? Well, what is the mantra about and how does it work? We're going to talk about energy healing, but we're going to talk about something that does not get talked about that often when we're talking about healing, and that is our ability to heal ourselves. Well, Ataana has been doing this for decades, but most importantly, he has come to the place in life now that his work is so recognized. He's helping so many people move the patterns, move the things that are in the way, change limiting actions, look at the belief systems, and let's look at what the world of possibilities are, because this is the life that he is living. And what's the journey been like for him? Well, you're going to hear a little bit about that today. But what is it about the work that he does with so many people that at the end of this work, we step back and we say, wow, my life is now different. I feel different. I am different, or maybe not. Ataana, welcome to the show today. We're going to talk about the mantra, and we're going to talk about how all of this works and how we can activate healing, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You know, I was talking with someone earlier today, and I think this is a really good place to start. Somebody asked me a question, and I know this is going to be an interesting place to start the show, but I got to put it out there. They asked me a question about what I thought about the current conversation in the world about opiate abuse, painkiller abuse. And, you know, I think they thought my answer was going to be, oh, we need to do that. And my answer was kind of like this. My answer was, you know, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And what I said was, well, are we focusing on the wrong issue? And the person asked me, what are you talking about? And here's what I said, because I knew you and I were going to talk today. Yeah. I said, why are we focusing on people that have to take opiates instead of focusing on what is not being healed by what we're doing in the medical profession? I said, why aren't we really looking at the root cause? Because it's so much easier to point to a level of abuse or addiction than it is to go back and say, why are these people in pain to begin with, Ataana?
Yeah, good question. Actually, good point. And if we in society would start very early on to focus more on the energetic value of life or existence, we can get much better insights and get much better understanding of how life functions as a whole. And not when we not getting our way, then there's something wrong with it, but actually flowing and surrendering with the divine flow and getting into a place where we're becoming harmonized with the overall love flow of existence or of oneness. And every time we align ourselves with that love, really our whole system starts to be energized. How more energy is flowing in your system, how more you're gonna have access to deeper levels, to more consciousness. Your internal organs are being much healthier. Bio energy and life force can be activated. There's so many ways how you can go into your system in appreciating and activating deeper levels of health. And of course, what that creates, it gets you a comfort and adjusted to life in general. Not like every little thing that doesn't go our way is pain, or everything that is not manifested, life is against us. We're getting more acquainted with life and life energy and life blueprint existence, so that we can see the translation, why these things actually manifesting, and then go right to the root cause and start the healing process there, instead of trying to fix or put a Band-Aid on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting question, and I was a little shocked by what came out of my mouth. But then again, of course, I looked at what you and I were going to talk about today. And, it's so interesting, right? Because if we address the problem from that perspective, right? And I love the conversations that are going on out there, right? It's all of a sudden, wait a minute, we have this abuse, we have this addiction, now we have opiate addiction. Now what do we need to do? We need to put these people in rehab. Oh, okay, let's put everybody in rehab. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, rehab, we're going to put them in rehab to take care of the opiate addiction, which they actually happen to get on because there's obviously some pain in their body, some disease, right?
Yeah.
Because we take everything and we throw it into a lump bucket and we say, oh my God, opiates, out of control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're not even looking at, well, why is the person on them to begin with? And I'm not talking about black market, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we're talking about here. But we're talking about the fact that we are skirting and dancing around the issue of healing, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. If you look at it, first of all, of course, the pharmaceutical industry is so about, of course, bringing their products to the people. At the same time, the pain that we experiencing, a lot of the pain that we're experiencing is literally, it's silent. It's in ourselves. It's the pain that we don't share with the world because we think this is so unimaginable. Nobody else could understand that pain, because if you talk about this, they're going to think you're crazy. You cannot talk in the office about that, because what would your colleague think? So you have to kind of hide it and let it grow in the unseen at night when you're alone and it comes all up. And it's like, it's not fashionable to speak about how you really feel, because, oh my God, what would the neighbor think if you tell him what you really feel? And you get to this place where you're more and more hiding stuff, and more hidden stuff starts to ferment and gets into this processing where it grows, and like a weed, literally like a weed, it grows. And what it creates, it takes space away from your healthy life, from your healthy lifestyle, from your healthy emotions, from your healthy thoughts. And how more that happens, how more pain is there. Pain is a signal that it requires some attention. The painkillers, literally called painkillers, of course, we have to kill everything. So, once the planet is, everything is killed off the planet, then we can build whatever we want to build on the planet. That's, of course, much better. And we have all these nice shopping malls. And then once you get to the place where you understand pain is a signal that requires attention and it requires love, right? Whenever there is pain in our system, all our system says is like, I don't have enough love in this area. There's not enough attention of love in this area. I need somebody to give me love to find a balance, to recharge. And of course, who is the best person to give and receive that love is oneself, because your love is modeled after you receiving it. The ideal love flow goes through you, from you, to you, into you. And once you realize this, of course, unconditional love will also do, and love in general will do too. But of course, your love, when your body needs attention and you send your love into your body, your love into the organs, your love into that area, because a lot of the times that we have experienced the pain is a deficiency of love. A deficiency of love creates, after a while, a deficiency of health, because there's not enough life force being directed into the system. And every time we bring love and we bring unconditional love back into our system, and we allow this lovingly to flow through us, we are recharging ourselves. We are recharging our system.
You know, Ataana, one of the things I want to talk about too is, for today, a very special message that we're talking about here. And, you know, I started by talking about the idea that there is the work that you do, energy healing work, and we have mantras and we have chakras. Yeah. And many people probably have heard us talk about mantras, but we've not talked about these in a way that we can express how powerful they are. And so I would love to begin and talk about a mantra, because you and I know that, at least I know from my own experience, I never thought that I was capable of embarking on this kind of healing, because of the perception that, wait a minute, mantras are really for people that may live over in Tibet, or, you know, I didn't study with the guru, right? So can you talk about, from your point of view and the work that you do, what is a mantra? What is it all about? And what is the essence of its potential power to help us?
Yeah, mantras were given to the yoga students and to the in different philosophical directions. Mantras were given to people to hold a focus. And the moment when you recite a mantra, what's happening, you're going to get into a specific rhythm. A specific rhythm creates a frequency. And if you look, for example, when you want to align yourself with the sun, and you say, well, you know, I want to really get in touch with the sun, you can go into outside where the sun actually shines and look into the sun, and then kind of get a glimpse of what the sun is. Or if there's no sun, you can just recite the name of the sun, right? You can say sun. You can go into the Greek or the Latin expression of what the sun is. You can go into the different languages of how the sun being expressed, and then connect with the energy of the sun, right? And that gives you a warmth already, just thinking about the sun, because you have an idea. Your system knows intuitively what the sun is, because every living being knows what the sun is. And every time you align yourself with a specific frequency, the mantra is like your telephone line. You're basically open, you're dialing, you're calling that person or that quality in the universe. For example, when you want to connect with Christ, let's say you want to connect with Jesus, you can think about the cross, you can think about Jesus Christ, or you can connect with the whole story of it. Same with Buddha. Let's say you want to connect with the Buddha consciousness, with the enlightenment consciousness. You can connect with saying the name of that person, of Buddha, of that quality. You can go into reciting the different mantras, the sutras, right? The Lotus Sutra or the Diamond Sutra, or all the different sutras. You can, if you want to connect with the different with the different gods in the Hindu tradition, you go into reciting different names, literally, of that person, of that god or goddess. And when you do this, what's happening is you're aligning yourself with that frequency. So your body turns into a a receiver and a sender at the same time. You're sending the intention, and then you're sending the intention out to connect with that being, with that energy, and then you're receiving that energy quality that being represents in the universe, or that quality. You can make it simpler and just go into the energy quality that it represents, like the sun, and you connect and you visualize the sun. If you like in the midst of the winters, you just say Helios or sun, and you go into the depths of it, or you go into Aton, as the Egyptians did, and you connect with the energy of the sun. And the same if you want to connect with a person. Let's say you're in love with a person. You're so obsessed with that person that person literally is in your mind. So you're connecting energetically with that person. Now this is deeper when you have a mantra that you're actually reciting, because the mantra gets you into a very specific breathing rhythm. That breathing rhythm gets you into a heightened state of awareness where you're having even higher access to that quality. For example, if that's the Omahare. The Omahare gets you into soul-satisfying prosperity. That means you are very consciously, very clearly connect with that frequency of what is soul-satisfying prosperity. And that soul-satisfying prosperity consciousness, now you are like a hose attaching to yourself for a moment, because of you are in the same rhythm, and that light quality is now being poured into your system. And like a funnel, it's being poured into your system, and your whole system now receives that energy because you're constantly aligning yourself with. As you're aligning yourself with, everything that is not soul satisfying, of course, will come to the surface. And as it comes to the surface, you can double check, you can reassess the contract that you have with these limiting, not so satisfying energies or belief systems, and you can renegotiate your contract and say, you know what, I don't need this anymore. Thank you for your service. I'm ready for soul satisfying prosperity. Everything that I love now has the okay, the agreement is done that I can allow higher levels of soul-satisfying energies to be present. So only what I truly love now can come. And when you do this, you get more and more of who you truly are manifested on this planet. Because what is it you really want to do? Let's say you're in the office and you hate your job. What if you really want to just, let's say you love to be outdoors? So maybe you're just going to grow an organic garden or an organic farm, or you do something totally different. But it's possible. Whatever it is that your deepest desires are, they can be manifested. And I'm talking about these things where you think, well, that's childish. I don't think I just can sell cookies and then just make my living. Well, think twice. So many home-baked cookies started in a kitchen. They're like $1 million corporations now, And
exactly. But what you're talking about is really the kind of energetic shift we really need. And that is an energetic shift that allows us and enables us to believe in a way we haven't believed before, right?
That's right. And it gives you the confidence to actually act on that desire. Because, when, let's say, so many people have been told, acting is silly, or, you cannot make a living of being a singer. And so many stars have these stories where their parents says, just, let it go. Just be a scientist, or, go back to the factory or work in the coal mine. How dare you thinking about you could do this, And all of these limiting belief systems from the family, from the lineage, even from negative self-programming, they can be literally transformed once you start going with, truly, why shouldn't I have the right to experience soul-satisfying prosperity? There's nothing in the way except myself, my own belief system. Maybe some programming from the parents, from neighbors, from people who put you down, but ultimately there's no limitation. The universe, God, the divine wants you to be well. There's not like a limiting programming that in any way wants you to be small. And once you realize that, you realize you're carrying still programming from different generations with you. And once you start reciting the mantra goes so deep, it goes even into the lineage. It goes into the past lives. Wherever that lack consciousness of your system is, it goes right in there, literally surgically, and helps you to bring it up to the surface so you can transform it, so you can renegotiate your life's contracts.
Yeah. And, we're going to actually experience that on the show today about what that feels like, what it sounds like. But there is a question that does come up. And I know we've mentioned this before, but I think we should pause for a moment and talk about it. There's something that you've created, and it is the Ataana method. But we're talking about energy healing and a method to do this. And I would love for us to talk about, what does this mean to be able to look at energy, feel it, and actually work with it on our own behalf? Because a lot of times, now we have gone through and I'm right there. I believe I can do something. But Ataana, what is the Ataana method? How do I begin to even look at energy healing?
Very simple. The very simple start is really the intention. Healing starts with an intention. If you don't have the intention to find a solution, you're not going to find a solution. You might find a solution coincidentally, synchronistically. But if you have the intention to find a solution, it's going to be so much easier because you already are on the path. You are already on a place, on the journey where you can attract possibilities. Ataana method starts with the intention of wanting to be well, of wanting others to be well, so that we can start the self-healing process and the healing for others. Then what I'm doing with the Ataana method, and that's just a standard that I have to all my classes, is activating psychic abilities, psychic awareness, the psychic view that you can have, that you need to activate in yourself and wanting to see. The first thing that I teach in my classes, and one of my first questions is, how much are you really willing to see? Because a lot of us don't want to see everything.
Right.
And a really important first step is get yourself to a place where you say, you know what, I'm ready to see everything. I'm done. I'm either disillusioned or I'm so open. I want to just, I have experienced so much. I'm ready. And a lot of the people who start with the Ataana method, they come to me because they're ready. They tried either a lot of other things or had a lot of life experiences where they get to a place, hey, I want to see beyond. And the moment you start, you're ready and you want to see beyond, I have a system into place that I can apply to about anyone, and it can activate your psychic awareness tremendously in very short classes, And once you start to have your awareness activated, you see, you have a psychic, your third eye is going to be more open and you see more. And by the way, I'm not just showing, but I'm also giving tools how to deal with what you see with, so that you can deal with stuff that you're looking at. And when you're overwhelmed, you have a system that you can utilize to clear or purify yourself.
Well, and this is really the world we're living in today, where, we started out the show talking about just one particular scenario where we're getting clearer and clearer that the things that we have said yes to in terms of believing in about healing ourselves and healing our bodies really require a different perspective. It requires us to look at, well, wait a minute, if that's not working, let's look at some things that are working, because you are helping people all over the world. I mean, we're looking at classes that you do and people that are getting results, because that's really a part of the conversation which we haven't talked about yet, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you can imagine I'm also teaching this modality, but I'm also applying it. As I'm applying it, I'm supporting the individual literally to go deeper into their self, to look at what they want or need to see, and then give them a tool, an opportunity to change, to renegotiate the contracts that they had going so far. And once they change how they apply themselves or how they infuse that new consciousness into their life, change is going to happen, because we're not just living in a 1-2-dimensional world. We're living in a multi-dimensional world. There's so many more realities to it. There's so many more dimensions to it. They have to be understood. But a lot of people say, well, I'm already overwhelmed with this reality, so I better don't go into any other reality, and then go into into confusion, right?
Yes.
So a big part of that is really the fearlessness of just going deeper, and give yourself a moment to understand how deeper you go, how more you're going to have the opportunities of change.
Yeah. And, part of this today, we're going to actually experience on the show. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to not just talk about how this works, but we're going to talk about and demonstrate how it works. And then what do the chakras have to do with it? One of the things I love about Ataana and what he does is he brings in the most incredible gemstones, these beautiful, beautiful, energy-filled, I love to call them things from the earth, gemstones from the earth to help in the healing process. We're going to take a short break, everyone. When we come back, get ready. Fasten your seatbelts. Get ready for healing. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tim Darter.
And I'm Steve Kramer.
Join us on Spirit Fire Radio. Discover how to add the mechanics of meditation to your day.
And watch yourself connect in a whole new way. Find the amazing moments in life's routines that often pass us by. Add to your awareness with Spirit Fire Radio.
Tune in each Wednesday at 9 a.m. for your weekly guide to practical mindfulness. And to learn more, visit www.spiritfireradio.com.
Shine On Radio. Find Your Shine with Kelly is the show that celebrates what makes you, you. Join co-hosts Kelly Wadler and Dr. Pat Basili as they break down how to brilliantly fuel and move your body and love what makes you shine. Kelly is a professional arts and wellness coach dedicated to helping brilliant women find their confidence, energy, self-love, and shine. Tune in to Shine On Radio with Kelly and find your shine on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Ataana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Ataana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, ataanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's ataanamethod.com.
Hi, this is Leslie Fontaine, and my show is Sheer Alchemy on TransformationTalkRadio.com. When we're bogged down with our emotions, the hardships that plague us in our relationships, at work, our finances, we literally can't see the higher plane where we could be operating from. Tune in to Leslie Fontaine, Sheer Alchemy on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. Wow. I'm so thrilled. I love this. For those of you out there, many of you have heard me talk about my own healing journey and also the work that I've done with Ataana. There's a reason that many of us seek out additional help. And that's because it's hard sometimes to really see what's really going on inside ourselves. And, I have always found that when two or more are gathered, amazing things actually do happen. And for those of you out there that want to find out more about Ataana, you can go to the website, Ataana, Ataana, method.com. You can go ahead and do that. Also, you can check out Facebook, and it's Ataana, Ataana, LOA. Believe I got that right. And then YouTube as well. And by the way, all you need to do is just type in the word Ataana, Ataana, in Google, and there you go. For those of you out there, today's show is super, super important. Now, Ataana, how can people best work with you? Tell us a little bit about this, because you're talking about sharing this method with people.
Mm-hmm. It's very easy. Get in touch with me. I have on my website a scheduling software. Just sign up for a session, and a phone session if you are like outside the country or in another state, and otherwise come to a in-person session to me in Nashville. I also do the one-mans. That's a group healing where people just come in at 1:30 Wednesdays, and they can come in into the one-man meditation, literally into the healing, and it's on donation basis. And otherwise, there's a fee when you go online, and you can just get a phone session and start out. The distance healing work is as effective as in person. So either way, you're gonna have transformation happening in your life. When you're ready for it, you're gonna find me, and you wanna move forward. We're gonna work.
And, one of the things that I think we're realizing is that this is a journey that, I don't know about you, Ataana, but I think I'm at the point now where I don't want to take it alone. If I can get some help to help me change limiting beliefs, to help me shift energy, to help me see things, that are in the world of prosperities, I want to get that done. And so that's what I love about the work that you do. And, for those of you out there, please give Ataana a call. We were going to talk about the mantra and actually going to demonstrate it and the connection, to the chakras. Take us on that journey, if you would.
Yeah. So the first of all, I wanted to give an idea why this is so significant to have somebody with you on your journey. When I went to this awakening process, I had not many people to really ask. Even my parents, even they did know, they didn't want me to go too deep down the rabbit hole. So when I went to this process, I know all the different stages of awakening. That means wherever you are on your journey, I know exactly where you are, and I know exactly what to do to support you. If I would have had somebody like me 30 years ago, I would have saved myself a whole lot of life trials. What I ultimately appreciate, because it helped me realize, and now I can be even of better service. But that's the benefit of having me around, because I can support you and say, you know what, you can take this road, or let's take this route. That's a shortcut.
Right. And, part of it today is for all of us not even understanding that we have those possibilities. So I would love to have you share the mantra in action.
Yes. Well, first of all, it works with the chakras. You're absolutely right. It activates the chakras. Then the mantra, the soul-satisfying prosperity mantra, activates your soul-satisfying prosperity consciousness that we all have in ourselves. So it unlocks that potential that we can actually live our dreams. Once you realize you can actually have this soul-satisfying experience in this moment, and you can have soul-satisfying prosperity with you, where it's perfectly okay being yourself, being your ideal self, being yourself, and where you can experience soul-satisfying prosperity without that you have to compromise yourself, without that you think you have to make yourself smaller than you are, and without that you are compromising yourself or have to be compromised by others. What's a generational program where humanity thinks we have to do something we don't want, and that's then being considered work. No, it's not. We do what we love, and that's our work, and I love what I'm doing. That needs to be the focus. And how more we redefining our focus, how more we redefine our purpose, how better we get into a place where we can receive our full abundance. Because universe, life, the divine wants us to be well and strong. And how more we get into allowing our true selves to be on this planet and doing what we truly love, then we of course understand love activates, love amplifies. And how more we love what we do, how more it's going to be magnetic, how more prosperity you're gonna receive, if that makes sense. And so that's what the soul-satisfying prosperity mantra, Omahare, is being based on.
Oh, yeah. And, for those of you tuning in, we're getting ready to experience it right now, aren't we?
Yes. Here's, I think, a clip that we have of a minute from the mantra. What it does subconsciously, it attunes you already to what is soul-satisfying prosperity. So it will make visible, of course, the deeper connection that you have to what is soul-satisfying. It will activate the deeper passion that lies dormant in you, that then aligns you with what is it that I really want to do? What is my life's purpose? What is it that I truly love to do? And what is it now? It helps you to literally translate this into action.
Well, let's begin. For those of you out there, we're actually going to end the show with that. I don't want it to stop, Ataana.
I know.
Tell us about that, because isn't that... I'm a little bit struck by it, because I have to tell you, for a moment, I forgot what I was doing here.
It really aligns.
I forgot we were doing a show. I forgot we were doing the radio show. And so I got caught a little bit like, oh, what is happening here? And thank goodness Justin just pinged me here so that I could get back to the show. Can you talk about that for people maybe that have experienced that as well just now?
Yes, it connects us to our greater reality of truly what is there. If you go into your full expansion of oneness consciousness, and you go into the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, the full expansion, then you go into a place where you're staying aligned with your full vastness, with your unlimitedness, and that's what it connects you to. It connects you to everything is possible. It connects you to there is right now, this moment is the moment where your enlightenment is happening, is in action. This is the moment that you can expand into all time. You can go into all the past, all the future, all the parallel dimensions. You can go into your full expansion. You do not have to be limited anymore. You can go into your vastness. Your vastness can now come into you. Your vastness can now be funneled into your system, and you can now be your unlimited self. That is the message of the mantra. The mantra goes into an activation of each of your cells, of your mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, and even your physical body, and the astral body in itself. Whenever you listen to the mantra, what's happening is your system starts the self-healing process, because we are meant to be prosperous. We're meant to be healthy. We're meant to be loving. We're meant to be in our full potential. We're meant to be in our full light. So whenever you connect with this mantra, that consciousness is also being activated in your system. Every time you connect with the mantra, you connect with that enlightenment consciousness. You go into limited.
Can I share a story about
Yes.
what happened after I worked with you?
Yes, please.
You know, I have to say, Ataana, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm hoping you can help. And I want to just tell everyone that it's from someone like me sitting on this end of it, for all of you out there, it's hard for me to explain how this happened, but Ataana can help. Ataana and I worked together, a couple of months ago. And, you know, after we worked together, I could feel a little something, Ataana, but, I didn't really know much about what to look for. But here's what started to happen. A couple of things really important, because we worked on prosperity. We worked on the network, right? And the expansive nature of the network. And we did a lot of different things. But I wanted to share results with people, because otherwise none of this is going to make sense. And there are 3 different results. One, I want to share the result of my blood work. Now, I'm not going to give everybody the details of what that looks like, but I will tell you all that for the first time in close to 11 years, some of the markers in my blood work from a conventional facility and doctor are normal.
Oh, nice.
What did I do differently? I'm not even going to try to touch that. Ataana can talk about that. Secondly, let's talk about prosperity. Now, one of the things, Ataana, you talked about before that I was really shocked by, because you kind of mentioned it, but it is this idea of stepping into possibilities, right? Mm-hmm. So here's what I want to share. What does that even look like for somebody like me? I had an epiphany about my student loans. And I have student loans that I've had for quite a long time, and I've been paying them off, here and there, kind of, following in suit. And then I got this, and then I entered into a conversation about these student loans. And what did I discover? All of a sudden, there was this possibility that somehow I was eligible for my student loans to be forgiven. Now, I don't know where that idea came from. I don't even know. But, there's some things that you can do in the world, some things that can happen, some things about it, whatever it is. My student loans are forgiven. That's number 2. Number 3, let's look at what this means and why I spoke with Ataana to begin with. I said, listen, Ataana, we're building the network. We're out there. We got 10 new channels that are going to be launched. And there we go. And now we were kind of stuck at a technology place with how do we do this? What do we want to do? And we are not stuck anymore. We have programmers that have come to the surface. Jessica, Linda, Justin, the team, everybody's come together. And because of what we put together in crowdfunding, other people have saw what we're building, and people are calling us to do shows with us, to be co-hosts with us. And what's changed? So, Ataana, I would love for you to talk of how this energy healing touches all aspects of our lives. But for somebody that may be listening, they're thinking, well, Pat, that's just like you. No, it's not. I was open to more possibilities. And it's the work that you and I did together and some of the other conversations that I believe were of enormous help. So would you mind trying to explain that to people today?
Yeah. Thank you for making that visible. It's like when I do apply the Ataana method or the specifics of it, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the full potential of that person, of that energy system, right? It's like I'm seeing the full. Let's say you have an irrigation system, and I'm seeing how much more water we could run to that irrigation system and how much more it could handle without that it's being overwhelmed. So regardless where anybody is in their life in this moment, and that took me a long time to integrate this, to bring it into a graceful transformation. Without that, people just feel overwhelmed and they go into, and I know sometimes that is part of it, but I can streamline it to the individual where the full potential can be utilized. Because we all, regardless where we add, we all can do, I don't want to say better, but more effective. We can be more effective. And sometimes in our system, we have limitations for whatever reason. And we can be the most advanced human being on the planet. It doesn't matter who it is. I can find something where I can make you more effective because I know the full potential of humanity is unlimited. So that unlimitedness I take into consideration when I apply my work without, though, overwhelming the person where they're going to go into a freak out, right? Because I want to have this in a graceful process. Well, sometimes we get overloaded. It can happen, but it's good to be grounded for the process. Now, every time I, for example, when we did the work, I basically can see the whole energy system, the whole circuits, and I can see where the energy is going and where there's not any energy applied in which other circuit areas, and which chip is not being used, which energy line is not being flown right. And what I'm doing is energetically I adjust that. And that sounds like I'm going to the system to, like, for an outsider, it might sound like a normal question, like, oh, well, he just asked me that question, and all of a sudden that energy started flowing. I'm utilizing literally different dimensions in my work, and then what I'm seeing is, for example, the topic is prosperity, healing, or or whatever the idea is that the person wants to work on, and then I can go in energetically, see into the blueprint, look into the blueprint, and see which area is not being fully utilized, and then I add that system, that fully intact system, as an extension now into the functioning parts of daily life, and of course that's an expansion. And so that expansion then creates its own magnetism and creates results.
Yeah. And, here we go. Now, I know that what happened was, and I just want to talk about this for a minute because this is about intuitively knowing stuff, right?
Yes.
This is not an epiphany that I've had, but all of a sudden I was in this place where these ideas just came to the forefront. But it wasn't just about ideas, Ataana. It was about solutions. So let me give you a specific example. In order for that magic to happen with the loans, there were a lot of people that had to be involved in that. It wasn't just me. And the way that it came together and the way information was put together and the way that information that was so old for me was easily found. Oh my gosh. You can't plan that. The other thing I want to say, Ataana, is the network that I'm referring to, it's called transformationradio.fm. And if those of you out there look at it, please take a look. And what you're going to see is what's about to be live and active. We're shooting for the 4th of July. If you look at that, you're going to see what it looks like. But what you're not going to see is, as a result of the work that I get to do with Ataana, the behind the scenes mechanism that's being done. Now, there's one other thing I didn't share. You're going to hear me talk more, Ataana, about some people that I have recently met who are, how did I meet them? You can't really explain it from a human potential. But now there is a group of people that we're going to be working with that are doing something extraordinary in the world. And we're going to be part of it. And they actually want to buy their own channel. Now, I got to tell you, we haven't even launched this network yet, right? But energetically, I bet we have, right?
Yeah, energetically into the expansion, that is literally connecting the light beams.
Right.
They're connected.
But for people listening, we had to start at a place. You helped me unblock some things. So I'm not really an anomaly. I'm not just, forget who I am on this radio show, everybody. I'm a girl from the Bronx. I come with all of the belief systems that are limiting like everybody out there. But you know what the difference is? I know that I have them, and I know I can go to Ataana and I can get some help. Isn't that the first step for us? Right? To know that we can get some help. But the other thing I would like you to talk about is the length of time that all of this has happened. I am blown away. And Ataana, guess what? All of the people are saying, oh no, 5 planets in retrograde, never going to happen, never going to happen. 5 planets in retrograde. I don't even want to talk about the prosperity and abundance that has happened so far with these 5 planets in retrograde. So, do you see what I'm saying? We could get some help, and it doesn't matter that the planets are in retrograde. And as a matter of fact, it's kind of good they are, because things were moving so fast for us. Now we get to catch up, right?
Nice. Yeah, of course. When you step into your full potential, when you step into your enlightenment, it doesn't matter where anything is on the solar system. You are right there. That's the power. It's, of course, the idea is, well, if everything is lined up, then everything is easier, and then it's, of course, going to happen. Well, that's not my mentality. My sister is a very gifted coffee reader. She was reading the coffee even when I had a time where I just didn't talk to my family, and I just went my own way for a couple of years. To my sister, they knew exactly where I was, what I was doing. They could even describe the room that I was living in. She's so gifted, right? And then what she said is, and she always said, do you want me to read your coffee? And often I said no, because I am a transformer. Whatever is lined up for you that is not in a full healthy alignment, we can change. I help you to change your future to the ideal future that you're meant to live. Regardless what manipulation, what hardships, what negative programming is in the way, I can support you to get to your full potential. And that's my desire. That's like how more people are in their full potential, how happy are we all going to be? Because nobody in their full potential, in their clear mind, would suppress another person.
Yeah. Wow. Ataana, I cannot thank you enough. And I know that we are going to continue this journey together, because I don't know about you, I am really wanting to get things moving, and our listeners do too. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show, and thank you everyone who is listening to this. Thank you.
Well, we're going to end this show, Justin. Let's play the mantra. Thank you for listening to Energy Works Radio with Ataana Badili. Each show, Ataana provides listeners with live energy healing meditations and tools to shed the layers of limitation and reveal the powerful life force within that can conceive, achieve, and activate you for an amazing life. For more information and to book a session with Ataana, please visit AtaanaMethod.com. That's AtaanaMethod.com. And tune in next time for Energy Works Radio with Ataana.